We are jumping back on our 2.5 RS that we are turning into a P25 22B replica build clone. I don't even know what it is anymore because it's just getting out of hand at this point. But we are going to be making so much progress on the drivetrain and suspension in this car in this video. It's going to be very close to being a rolling shell. So I got in something I've been waiting for a couple weeks now, and they were rather difficult to find, and that is the rear subframe bushings. These are actually discontinued bushings. I had to buy them from some new old stock in Taiwan on eBay that I found. It was like 80 bucks plus like 20 shipped, so 100 bucks, 25 bucks a bushing for these. But they're in, which means we can actually permanently bolt up the subframe, permanently get the diff in, mock the driveline up and actually get it bolted up to the rear differential, get rear suspension in, get front suspension in. Our power steering rack shows up tomorrow with a lot of other OEM stuff for our rear suspension, like the circlips, the C-clips, everything to be able to put all the knuckles together. We could probably get the axles in, a ton of stuff. The brakes might be able to go on, at least the calipers. We don't have brake rotors or brake pads yet, but that's all right. But let's actually start this off with getting this rear subframe in. Go up like this. If I can finagle it. Oh, some of these feel like they're gonna be fun to go in. Did I need to use the impact? Probably not. Did I want to though? Yeah. All right, so we'll slide it up and in to the bushings. And then I'll have you lift it up and just hold it up so it can rest in the bushings. I'll put the plate on and then we can bolt it in. Sweet. Those. You are a legit lifesaver, because this would have sucked. The studs are not long enough. So my buddy Colin swung by and brought us some really dope 3D printed speaker brackets for the RS for the doors. These fit what you said, 6x9s?
6.5.
6.5? Yeah. Which is perfect. So if you don't have these, the speaker hits the window and then you can't roll down the window.
Exactly.
Good to know. So now we have some speaker brackets, which will be nice for later. He also helped me toss the diff in. However, we've seemed to run into a couple of issues. I've seen a lot of posts online of people saying that these 6-speed swaps directly bolt in. That is not the case. At least if you use RS. You know, it's just not. It's just not the case. I'm not gonna pretend like it is the case. It's not the case. So if you're using an R180 with a 2.5 RS subframe, the studs on the R180 are not long enough. So we need to swap this out for R160 studs, so I need to find some. The other thing is the STI drive shaft is actually too short to reach the rear differential. So we need an R160 pinion, flange, whatever they call it, and an automatic 2.5 RS or GC or GM6 drive shaft. That's annoying because I had the 2.5 RS drive shaft Cerakoted black, so it's kind of wasted cost there. He has a 2.5, you're a 2.5 RS, man. If you need one, let me know and you can have this one when I get my other one. But yeah, the STI, oh no, it's an STI drive shaft. It wouldn't even fit anyways. So, you know, the GD STI drive shaft does not fit. So I need to track down one of those. On the table, we have a set of white line rear control arms. These are for a GD. I did test fit these bushings. They fit into a GC rear subframe, no problem. We have a GD rear sway bar. It's a Faction Fab 22mm rear sway bar. To use a GD sway bar though, you do need GD rear subframe brackets. If you try to use the GC or the GM6, you run into an issue with the rear subframe brackets because they have these little arms and they will not allow the bushings to sit in them properly. So if you're gonna use an STI rear sway bar, make sure you have STI rear sway bar brackets. So let's get our sway bar installed. Let's get these arms installed and then transition over to more suspension stuff because we have a ton of it back there. Here's the question. Man, I should have given you the hard side. Okay, let's get that one first. Move. There we go. Look at your oil pan. That's understandable. That's gonna go in right there with the centric bolt. That bolt still seems kind of long, but it's the shortest one out of the bunch. It is a new day. We kind of had to jet out immediately last night. We kind of left off getting the rear control arms in, rear diff mocked up and everything like that. Our Corgi Mochi had to go to the emergency room and she's still there right now with signs of serotonin syndrome. You can look it up if you want in dogs. It's not good. She should be okay. We caught it early enough where they're getting her all taken care of and whatnot. So I don't know how long I'm gonna have today either, because of course I'm gonna put the dog first, my little lady, my little girl. But we did get another shipment of parts in overnight while all of that was transpiring. All right, we're gonna jump to something that I know should hopefully go together a bit smoother, and that is wheel bearings. So this is one of our rear knuckles here. What we're gonna have to do is press in this wheel bearing into here, grab one of these circlips, circlip it, put the seals in, put the dust covers on, the big black shields that go around it, then press in our rear spindle. Now I already do have the new tone ring on the back. The tone ring is how the wheel speed sensor reads the pickup on here. So I don't know if we're gonna be using it with the Haltech, but it's good to have it on there anyways. So I'm gonna toss the other bearing into freeze. Actually, honestly, these should go on pretty easy. Now, pressing the wheel bearing into the hub is the easy part. When you go to press the spindle into the wheel bearing, you need to support the back side of the wheel bearing. Otherwise, it will fall apart, and then you're gonna have to buy another $100 and something wheel bearing. So make sure that you do take your time when doing this stuff. Don't rush it, don't pinch anything, because this can get real expensive real fast if you start destroying this stuff, and nobody wants to be having to pay for the same parts twice. Rear hubs all assembled. So when it comes to installing all of this, just be patient. Have a press. If you don't have a press, take it to a shop that does. With doing these, there is a seal on the back side that has a lip right here. On the front, there is another seal that does not have a lip. When you press the spindle into the bearing, you have to support the rear of the bearing here, otherwise it will push it out and destroy your bearing. We've got the left and the right all set up here. We can actually toss these on the car. They're gonna be a little bit floppy until we get our rear coilovers in, which I'm just waiting on the top hats for them to come in so that way we can put them in, because we don't wanna have to drill into the chassis if we don't have to. I did get one of the fronts assembled. I bought the wrong dust shields for the front, so I'm gonna have to buy the appropriate ones. I have the other front hub assembly, but I don't have the wheel bearing for it yet. I'm guessing it's on back order or something. So this one is done. We can actually just throw all three of these on. This one will actually bolt up to the coilover up in the front of the car. These two can go on, I believe, permanently. Through like that. Actually, push. Come on. All right, washers are on the right way this time. Pretty sweet to see that we got brand new hubs, knuckles, all that stuff. I did get an email back from Fortunato regarding the top hats for the coilovers. They said they're working on those now, so we should hopefully get those in the next like week or two, and then we can really start buttoning up the suspension. The fronts, I need to get a either a white line, a Super Pro, I don't care. I need to figure it out. I need to get a steering rack so we can steer this thing, a proper steering rack. I actually bought a 2015 rack, but it doesn't fit. The issue that I had with this 2015 rack is the hard lines right here hit the subframe, the more sport frame, which kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. I thought I could fit a 15 rack in there, but I just can't. Front lower control arms are on. Those rear bushings back there are absolute nightmare. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They suck to get in there, but we're looking pretty good on suspension. Like this side, I'm still waiting on a wheel bearing to put the knuckle and everything like that in, but so far everything is coming out super clean. So with our rear suspension, I'm trying to figure this out. I am missing an arm that goes off the bottom of the knuckle here over to a bracket up there. It's a trailing arm. I don't remember what trailing arm it is, so I am gonna have to look at some diagrams tonight, figure it out, and get one ordered. Either OEM, I'll probably get aftermarket. I'll probably just keep it all adjustable suspension in the rear. Nice to see our Brimbos on here. I need to get some end links ordered. So good progress on getting this thing to be a rolling shell. We're just not quite there yet. What we did get in though is a new slave cylinder and a new clutch line. I had the STI clutch line that I originally got powder coated, but it got bent and a little bit damaged. So opted for a new one. These are cheap enough. It made sense just to buy a new one. So let's go ahead and get our slave installed, our line installed, and then I have a stainless steel line that'll go from this to this guy here. On the clutch line, I had to put that clip on like this. There's no way I was gonna get it on either way. So, you know what, it went on. At the end of the day, that's what matters. The clip went on, okay? That is what is important here. Keep it a little bit loose. Those are both tight. Come in here. Tighten that guy up. Now, in my opinion, and some people may disagree with me, and that's totally fine if they do. I get it. Not everybody likes me. No one's making you, but this is the stuff that I feel like everybody always skimps out on. Oh yeah, dude, that's nice and tight. There's like the little details like this. Like, would a stock line have worked just fine? 100%, yeah. Stock line would have been just fine, no issues. However, this is like the nice stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is like nice little mods that make the car feel better to drive. Stiffer clutch pedal feel, all that fun stuff. I actually have a brand new one of these springs. Brand new, not all worn. Brand new clutch return spring here. That. Check out this little critter. Mochi. Look at that. They shaved her little leg. They shaved your leg. What are we ever gonna do? They shaved your leg, Mochi. They shaved your leg. Thankfully, little Miss Mo is doing way better. So we had to take her in for serotonin syndrome, which the doctors think she has an MDR1 gene. If you don't care about the doggo stuff, just skip forward. But they think she has an MDR1 gene deficiency, which makes her essentially overdose on certain drugs, even though they're prescribed to her. So what happened is her body released a ton of serotonin into her nervous system because it doesn't get absorbed into the bloodstream. It sits in her little brain and then it sits in her little organs, and she essentially has an overdose on serotonin, and it was causing her to have really bad tremors, potential seizures, all this other stuff. So we had to do 2 emergency vet visits on Tuesday, and then they kept her all day Wednesday and Tuesday night, and she seemed to be doing better now. Isn't that right, Miss Mo? Isn't that right? Can I see your paw? Paw. Paw, come on, give me your paw. Thank you. They shaved her little leg. They shaved it. What did they do? They took your fur. They took your coat. They're gonna make a sweater out of it. But for anyone who's curious, I'm little Miss Mo. She's doing better. On a different note, we did get our short block back from the machine shop. So this we will probably build in the next video. We have an RCM dry sump that's gonna be going on this engine, mainly pistons, BC connecting rods, king bearings, OEM crank, 1/2-inch head studs, the whole king caboodle on this thing. This thing is going to be a ripper. Around like 600 wheel horsepower is really the goal for this engine. With the dry sump and everything else that we have going on this, it should be solid. We also opted to convert the breather fittings all to AN. They're all gonna be capped anyways because we don't need to run a PCV system one, since we have this, we'll probably just run a couple vent lines, but that'll probably be about it. Pretty nice out right now. It's supposed to be the last non-rainy day we have for a little while, so I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I'm gonna take the RX-7 out real quick. We need to go downtown. I need to get a new key cut for the Subaru. I got one of the fancy JDM STI keys. And this, I mean, this one, it kind of works, but it's just loose and it's old, and I'm pretty sure they can pull up the cut code based off of the VIN, so I actually need to take a picture of that real quick just in case I can't pull it up. I'm also gonna swing by Mazda, have them cut a new key for the RX-7, because right now these are the only keys I have, and to be honest, it looks like a really old house key. So I got a nice little F&E key. So let's get out of the shop for a little while. Time of the year, fall, everything's colorful until it all dies, then we go into depressing and sad winter, but we'll enjoy the RX-7 while we can. I haven't been to Mazda in forever, so I gotta figure out where I gotta go to get a key cut. I'm assuming parts or service. Honestly, I think probably parts. I would assume parts. I always feel like a douche shutting off the RX-7 because you gotta rev it. Come on. There we go. Sunroof will leave like that. There we go. All right, let me run in here and go get these keys cut. Look at that. New Subaru key cut. New Mazda key cut. I'm gonna go drive this thing. so far. New key cut for the Subaru and the Mazda. Both dealerships are awesome. They knocked these out, no issue at all. So that's one thing off my checklist I've been meaning to do for a little while. Since it was a nice day, it was a good opportunity to get some more miles on the RX-7. It's been doing phenomenal too, dude. No issues, no hiccups. It's fun to drive, dude. It's a blast. Honestly, if you've never driven a rotary car and you get the opportunity, do it. It's way more fun than I ever thought. But anyways, that we did, however, pick up an R160 down there. So we can go ahead, kidnap the studs off of that, use them on ours. Like I said, in the next video, it'll probably be building the short block for the 22B. I just had 2 more engines get dropped off this morning. So I have 3 short blocks to build this weekend, and I have to do an engine swap for another customer. So I'm taking this used long block, and it's just a drop-in engine. It's going in another car, so I don't know if I'll film any of that or not. I'll film the engine builds, but I don't know if I'm gonna film that. That'll take me a couple hours max. But with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you like the videos, if you're hyped for the 22B, go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you have any suggestions for the drive shaft also, maybe I'll just do a carbon one. I haven't decided yet, but if you have any suggestions on that, please let me know, because I've had some people say that with a 2.5 RS rear subframe and an STI drive shaft, they didn't have any issues with an R180. Maybe after I swap the studs, it'll put it in a different spot. I don't know. I just don't know. But anyways, like I said, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be able to put it in one of these corners, no idea which one quite yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.